Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Virgo. If Virgo is your solar, lunar, ascendant/rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. Okay, let's see, what do these tea leaves have to say? Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Okay, so our card for tonight is the soul, the sun. As beautiful as the illumination is, I don't know. I just am not a big fan of the sun. Isn't that silly? I guess sun worship. Any kind of like heliocentric thing. I don't know what it... I think because I just am such a big fan of Saturn. I guess I just see this and I think, oh my goodness. Oh, this is a time we're going to be full of illumination. It's going to be real bright in here. But in real life, I do like the sun. I like it a little too much. I like it a little too much. I got to be more careful about the sun, about being out there. Okay, let's see. All right, so we have the sun. We have this kind of interesting, I almost see kind of a, and it looks to me not unlike maybe a house atop the hill, or like I was going to say a mansion, not a mansion, like a church atop the hill, which is interesting because I also see we have this cross, right? Oh my goodness, I just touched it. I'm not going to touch it yet. It was a cross, kind of on a hill as well. Lenor, what are you doing today? I've had such a day. As far as I did a reading, my microphone wasn't on. Oh, it's been one of those days. Chaotic, everything that we have, just chaos in the house today. So, plus we have family health. I'm sorry. I'm going to get it together. I just touched the thing. I'm sorry. I should just start again, but I'm not going to. So anyways, we have a kind of a holy place atop this mountain, this hill, okay? And it looks like there are kind of other, almost like we have the ocean over to the side here, okay? In my mind, I grew up in California. I think of a place like, you know, along the coast somewhere. I'm not going to dox myself exactly where I used to spend my summers. But, yeah, along the coast, there were a lot of missions, okay? And so you would have these old churches pretty close to the oceans. And so, you know, I look at this and I think that there is like this driving force towards maybe not religion, okay? Maybe there is a sense of falling out of how you were raised. Maybe you were raised in religion that you don't identify with anymore. That happens to a lot of us. Maybe you are entering a new belief system, a new religion. You've been called, for however that happens for us individually. But whatever it is, there is the sun. We also have three of the illuminating candles. There is this sense of a great spiritual awakening and illumination of some kind. And sometimes it just really happens so suddenly. And it's, you know, almost kind of, in my experience anyways, it can be a very like bittersweet experience because you are coming into the grace of the divine. Your faith is so alive. You know, it feels like you are new again in a lot of ways. I know I'm using a lot of maybe Abrahamic kinds of phrases here, but I'm not. This is not. You know, these are just saying. I like to use terms and words and jargon that maybe a wider group of people will understand. Okay, but it's not limited to. But this can be bittersweet because you think, my goodness, I've been living in kind of a fog. I did not realize how detached I was from the universe, from my interior, from my guardian angel, from my true will, from the path that, you know, that I know is for me. Okay, but we cannot lament. That's what the sun illuminates. It does cast shadows. Okay, but if we rotate our position, if we move things around as the sun moves as well, perspective changes, shadows change, things will always become illuminated at some point, right? So we must have eyes to see, and we cannot squander that by lamenting what has been. We are given a chance many times every single day to return to the path that we have chosen, the paths that we have chosen. You know, every single day you are given a chance. You are. If you know that or not, if you're willing to admit that or not, okay? I diverge constantly from my true will. I do. And the further I get, the more ornery, angry, upset, twisted up, you know, burdened I become. And sometimes and this is true, I actively choose against myself and against getting back on the path. I don't know why. It's like self-harm, you know? Something I'm working on really hard. But when we are beneath the sun, when the sun is alive in us and we let it shine, there's nowhere to hide. Everything will be shown, exposed. And that's not a threat. I know. Sometimes it feels like it. I'll tell you what. When I was in active addiction, even after when I was like if you don't know, I'm in recovery. Okay. And I know. You maybe are like, why is this lady talking about herself so much? Well, I want to connect with you. I want you to know where I'm coming from. Okay. But anyways, I'm in recovery. I do 12-step. I do those 12, you know, the different things you have to do. And when people would say, you have to look at everything, you have to shine the light on all of it, good, bad, terrible, in between, whatever. I was out of there. Heck no, I didn't want to do that. That's too much. That's hard. It felt like a threat. It felt like somebody was trying to, you know, like force me to talk about or force me to look at things I didn't want to look at. And I'm still, even almost 10 years in recovery, I'm still doing it every day, trying to figure out how I'm going to look at some of the things I cannot even bear to look at. But I'll tell you what, if you are on a spiritual path, if you are on a path of self-work, even the things that are very traumatic, and I know, They can be very destabilizing. We have to look at some of that stuff. We will, and we will. Because, and this is something that Jung talks about in shadow work, is the things that we don't want to look at, the things that we push down, the things that we try not to identify as part of our story, our feelings, our proclivities, whatever, when we hide them, when we push them down, they will grow into absolute chaos monsters. And that's why you see some people, they just absolutely cannot control their rage, their, whatever their taboo behaviors are, their desires, their sicknesses. They have no control over it because they won't process through some of it, and that can happen. I mean, it manifests in our lives. It will. It absolutely will. You will get sick from it. Stress. Can't sleep. Addictions. You cannot hide from yourself. You can't hide from the universe. And so the sun, it is the path to unburdening yourself. It really is. It's hard work, though. It's not easy. Nobody said it was going to be easy. I wish it was, but it's not. It just is not. But you can do it. You can do it. You are given what you can do, if you understand that or not. I know, I feel like I'm not a very strong person in a lot of ways. I have, I have faltered. I falter, but if I can pick myself up out of depression, self-harm, trying to unalive myself, lots of abuse in my life. Deep, long, prolonged abuses, addiction, bad relationships, just being not a great person all the time. I still am, I deal with things. I'm in, therapy, recovery. If I can do this, if I can stay on this path as much as I can, then so can you, because I am nobody, just a little peon. and so I know, it seems like an undoable task. And I look at this and I see we have a person kind of reaching out here. We have a person over here who it looks like they're kind of huddled, right? And I feel like there's just a sense of weight, almost like, it's like your expectations of life, of yourself, of like everything that you thought that you wanted and needed, that has taken a substantial blow. And what, maybe there's a divorce, financial problems. Maybe you went to school, studied in some career, you got into your work, you realize, I freaking hate this. I don't like this. Those are big blows. Right? But you can survive them. Yeah, you can. And I feel like you're going through something, but I want, and I'm not going to just plug myself into here, but I feel like universally there is a feeling of you receiving some kind of support. Okay? Love. You are embraced. You are. You're important. If you feel like it or not right now. Okay? That sun, it makes us look at difficult things, but it also shines the light on you are a rare, unique, divine. Do you know how many things had to come together for you to exist? Do you know how many things have to happen to keep your body alive from moment to moment? Oh my gosh, you are absolutely a miracle, as are, all the things that you experience, if it feels like it or not. And I want to lend you and anybody who watches any of my readings the support to know you are loved, you are cared for, you are worth all of this work, and you can do it. You absolutely can do it, and you will. I hope. I hope you will. And you know what? Sometimes when our life does not go the way that we planned, and it hurts, but it is kind of a strange blessing. There is an undeniable freedom on having to lose grasp on the sense of control that you have to have over your life. Okay, sometimes we have to get knocked about just a little bit by life, not by another person, by life, for us to realize we don't get to control everything. And in that, not controlling everything, there is some freedom. It gives you some room. Hopefully your blood pressure comes down a little bit. Your stress is a little bit less. Because you have to learn how to trust in the way. And it's hard. That's hard. I'm not a very trusting person. But every single day I have to remind myself many times a day, I'm just going to trust that the universe is going to provide what I need. And when I think I need something and it doesn't happen, I have to trust that the universe knows better than I do. Okay? This is a big shift. I see there is anxiety here. I also feel like there are a lot of faces. I'm just seeing a lot of random faces in here. And I almost feel like there's a sense, you have a sense that people are judging you. Whatever's going on. Who cares? Let me just say, who cares? They don't matter. I don't care if it's your mom. I don't care if it's your kid. I don't care if it's your PO. Well, if it is your PO, do what you got to do. Don't get sent back. I know that's no fun. But listen, ultimately on a existential level, right? Who cares? It doesn't matter. You are living for you. And of course, if you have young kids, take care of those kids, okay? I'm not telling you not to do that. But you can't live your life worried about what other people think or their opinion, okay? You take care of you, Virgo. And if their eyes are on you, give them something to look at. No, I'm kidding. Don't do that. Just focus on the work that you're doing, okay? There is love in the air. I see a beautiful little butterfly. I see an upward movement, okay? There's love. And that love is going to be amplified by you, okay? You are like a beautiful little, reflector. If you could imagine a butterfly made of mirrors, you're reflecting that sun. You are a sparkle in the sky. You are so beautiful, so divine, so smart, so clever, so creative, so able. Okay, you will do this. You'll do whatever it is that is right in front of you, okay? And I love you. If nobody's told you that today, I love you. I absolutely do. Okay? Now I'm going to do the Earthbound Oracle cards. All right. And these ones are a little bit different than the other decks I was using. These ones have like an image and a word. We're just going to see how it punctuates And I'm just going to punctuate the reading. I'm going to stop where it feels right. Let's go right here. Oh, I was like, there's no word. No, there is. There is. And listen, this is what my backyard looks like. So yes, reflect. Oh my goodness. There you go. Reflect. You are that the beautiful butterfly reflecting the sun. You are that glorious, shiny, beautiful thing. Okay? But also reflect. I think it means like reflect on the seasons, maybe the things that have come to pass in the new. It looks like the stages of the fall, the leaves going through their what is the word? Whatever. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. I need to have some tea. I need more tea. That's what it is. A little more tea. A little more calming down. And, gosh, it's Sunday night already. My goodness. The beginning of another week. Tomorrow here in America is Indigenous Peoples Day, which is shout out to all of the indigenous people, especially all over the world, but here we're celebrating in North America, affected by the diaspora, the systematic dismantling of many cultures, including my own. I come from the Choctaw, and yeah, so yeah. All right. Well, the other thing that's coming up I have to mention too is, and maybe I'll read before then, but we're having another eclipse coming up, the annular eclipse, I think it's called, and the new moon, which is always my favorite. The new moon really affects me, and I feel so close to that surreal in between. It makes me a little bit wild. I'm like a werewolf that comes alive during the absence of the moon. For real. So, anyways, I'm going to say thank you so much. If you'd be so kind as to like the video, the reading, it helps us get into the algorithm, and the algorithm is the decider of my fate, the fate of this channel. And so we like to give it the engagement that it wants and it seeks and it demands. And those are things like liking the video, sharing the readings on other social media platforms, watching the readings from the beginning to the end. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing so. I've been doing the channel for a year. I think it started in October last year. Maybe it was in November. I can't remember exactly. I have to go look. But it's been about a year, and we're about to hit, hopefully, God willing, 20K subs. And, when that happens, I am going to be beside myself. But I am really so humbled. I cannot believe how wonderful you all are. And, yeah, it's an exciting time. And other than that, if you want to leave a comment, please do. I read them all. I try to get back to each and every one of them. Sometimes I get way behind. Lately I have been, because we've been having some family stuff go on. Not involving my husband, Paul. I know a lot of you watch his readings, so don't worry about him. He's okay. I'm okay, and our daughter's okay, but it's a family member who is going through some serious stuff, and it's been one of those weeks. So, yeah. Anyways, so thank you, Virgos. I love you all. I love you, and we will talk in just a few days.